So, eFootball 2027 is finally here, and I think the question everyone is asking right now is whether the new free Frank Lampard manager is actually worth using, or if this is just another manager Konami gave us for free so we can all pretend we're going to change our playstyle for one day and then go straight back to quick counter. Because this manager comes with the brand new Overload playstyle, and this might actually be one of the biggest tactical additions Konami has made in a long time. The interesting part is that Lampard is completely free, which means every single player can test this playstyle without spending a single coin. So today, I want to explain how Overload actually works in simple terms, the best formation to use, and whether this manager can genuinely improve your gameplay in eFootball 2027. First of all, what even is the Overload playstyle? The easiest way to understand it is this. Imagine you're attacking down the left side of the pitch. Instead of your players staying spread out across the entire field, the Overload system tells nearby teammates to move closer to the ball. Your fullback, your central midfielder, your attacking midfielder, and your winger all begin to gather around that side. The goal is to create a numerical advantage, meaning you have more players in one area than your opponent does. That gives you more passing options, more 1-2 combinations, and a much easier way to keep possession. Think of it like playing football in a small space with your friends. If 3 of your teammates come close to you, suddenly you have multiple short passes available instead of trying a risky long ball. That is exactly what Overload is designed for. It focuses on quick short passing, tight triangles, and constantly supporting the ball carrier. Now here's the part that makes it interesting. Overload is not just an attacking playstyle. Defensively, your entire team also shifts toward the side where the ball is. So if your opponent attacks down your right side, your defensive line and midfield move across to make that side compact and crowded. This can make it very difficult for opponents who rely on dribbling through one side or playing quick combinations near the box. The downside is that the opposite side of the pitch can become more open, so if your opponent is good at switching the ball quickly from one wing to the other, you can get caught out. That is probably going to be the biggest weakness of this playstyle. So who is this playstyle actually for? In my opinion, if you enjoy possession game but sometimes feel like your players are too static, Overload might be perfect for you. It feels like a more aggressive version of possession football. You're still keeping the ball, but you're creating pressure by having multiple players available around the ball carrier. If you're someone who loves quick 1-2s, short passing, and controlling the midfield, this could genuinely be one of the most fun playstyles in eFootball 2027. The next question is the best formation. After looking at how Overload is supposed to work, I honestly think the safest and strongest formation is a 4-3-3. The reason is simple. In a 4-3-3, your fullback, central midfielder, and winger naturally create passing triangles on the flank. That is exactly what the Overload system wants. When you attack down one side, those 3 players can combine constantly, while the opposite winger stays wider and gives you an escape option if the side becomes too crowded. It gives you balance without sacrificing width. If you want a more aggressive setup, then 4-2-1-3 could be even better. Your AMF sits right behind the striker, and the central area becomes packed with passing options. This formation can create ridiculous combinations around the edge of the box, especially if you're using players with good low pass and tight possession. The only problem is that if you lose the ball carelessly, the middle of the pitch can become vulnerable to counters. For players who love tiki-taka football, a narrow 4-3-1-2 is also a fantastic option. Because your midfield is already compact, Overload turns it into a passing machine. You'll constantly have nearby teammates available, and it becomes very easy to play quick one-touch football through the center. The trade-off is that you need to be careful against opponents who attack through the wings. Now let's talk about Frank Lampard himself. The leaked version shows that he has 89 proficiency in Overload, which is very good. And he also has long ball proficiency if you want to experiment with different systems later. Since he's free, there is almost no risk in trying him. Personally, I think the biggest mistake players will make is trying Overload with slow midfielders. This playstyle needs movement. You want CMFs and AMFs who can receive the ball, turn quickly, and play short passes under pressure. Players like Pedri, Modric, De Bruyne, Bellingham, or even Scholes could become incredibly effective because they thrive in tight spaces. So, should you actually use the new free Overload Frank Lampard manager? My answer is yes. Not because I think it will instantly become the new meta, but because it offers something genuinely different from quick counter and long ball counter. It rewards intelligent passing, movement, and controlling space instead of simply launching through balls every attack. I'm definitely going to test it, especially in a 4-3-3, because I think that formation gives the best balance between possession and defensive stability. And who knows, we might all be using quick counter today, but A few weeks from now, the entire community could be complaining that Overload is secretly broken. But now I want to know what you guys think. Are you actually going to use the free Frank Lampard manager, or are you staying loyal to Quick Counter forever? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.